Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I wanted to talk about how I became interested in guns, but more specifically the AR-15 platform. When it comes down to it, there's a lot of similarities between building a gun and building a computer. And I would imagine for those of you who are into cars, customizing your car is similar to both building a gun and building a computer. But you have a set goal in mind of what you want your gun to do. You have a set goal in mind of what your PC should accomplish. What resolution do you want to play Battlefield 4 at, and what settings do you want, how many frames per second do you want, and you have a set budget on how much you want to put into your gun and how much you want to put into your computer. But another striking similarity is pre-built PC gaming rigs and pre-built guns. With PC gaming, you can buy a proprietary system like that from Alienware. I know they do their own chassis and a lot of their motherboards are proprietary, or you could buy a assembled system from Origin PC or Falcon, CyberPower, iBuyPower, whoever. But this is a pre-built gun. It's a Colt LE6920. You can see the Colt roll mark with M4 carbine on it. External furniture aside, this is internal specification-wise, spec for spec, the same M4 carbine that's used by the military world all over the world. And the fire selector switch, obviously, it only goes to semi-automatic single shots because it's the law enforcement and civilian model. SWAT gets the select fire versions. But to make this gun Maryland compliant, you had to add a heavy barrel. So I changed out the barrel to a stainless barrel, and it's gorgeous with a matte stainless break. And it's bothering me that this is matte stainless instead of polished stainless. I want to get some stainless crush washers and swap this out for a polished stainless brake. But this brake works pretty well, even though it's like shooting fireballs out of your muzzle. But the muzzle rise has been mitigated significantly, and I don't have any optics on this besides the iron sights because it just feels so good using the iron sights on this Colt. Colt makes really good smooth cycling guns. But let's move on to a more custom build. I didn't build this gun from the ground up. A lot of guys, when building AR-15s, they start with literally just the lower receiver, and the lower receiver is the serialized portion. This can't get shipped to your front door. You have to go through an FFL dealer. They have to pay you have to pay the transfer fee, and they have to run a NICS background check on you before you can receive the lower receiver. But everything else you can have delivered to your front door, and you can proceed with building your gun yourself. And there's a lot of satisfaction with building everything yourself, kind of like with building a computer. You have a lot more pride in your rig than if you build it than if you bought it. And it works the same way with your guns. Like, there's just a hands-on aspect that feels so much better than just buying a gun off the shelf when you build your gun yourself. But this upper receiver shoots the 7.62 by 39 round, the same round that the AK-47 does. And this stock is really fun because it can hold magazines. So there you go. Reloads are great. Put some Magpul rail covers on it. Put a PWS, primary weapon system muzzle brake on it. And it's got the EOTech. But this is not from the ground up custom, but the lower receiver is from Swap Firearms. It's a custom upper receiver from Barrier Defense. So there you have it. Oh yeah, I forgot. TacLite. And there you have it. So, you have really two guns that do the same thing, almost. They both make really loud noises, and they allow you to punch holes in paper. But really how I got into guns is there's just so many changes that you can make and so many modifications to make your build truly your own. I want to do a completely from the ground up build. I want to get a lower receiver and just put in all the internal components myself and assemble the upper receiver. Of course, you need a torque wrench to barrel the upper receiver, and installing the muzzle brake also require a torque wrench. But when building a computer, you can do it with tools lying around the house. So when people post their PC gaming gameplay online, you guys a lot of times like to ask, what are your specs? So you start with what case are you using, what's your graphics card, what's your processor, what's your motherboard, what's your solid state drive, what's your power supply, much RAM, so on and so forth. So people like looking at lists of PC specifications on the Linus Tech Tips forum or any PC gaming forum. People post pics of their builds and list their specifications and their build logs. And with gun builds, it's the exact same thing. People post pics of their rifle and people ask for specifications of the rifle. What's your handguard? Who makes your upper receiver? Who makes your lower receiver? What optic is that? Who does your, I don't know, your gas buffer tube? And who makes your buffer spring? Who makes your foregrip? Who makes your, did I already say handguard? Yeah, I already said handguard. Who makes your ergo grip? Who provided the internal lower parts like Daniel Defense or LaRue or Spikes Tactical? So if you think there are a lot of companies making PC gaming products, like the number of people that make power supplies or motherboards or RAM is overwhelming, just wait until you get into gun part makers. With PC Part Picker, I don't know how many manufacturers there are for every component. If you wanted to do a website like Gun Part Picker, kind of like the Mirror PC Part Picker, I don't think they would really have enough drop-down options to make Gun Part Picker a viable option, just because there are so many people making aftermarket gun components, especially for the AR-15. That's really what got me into firearms and AR-15s, is just really customizing everything and making it truly your own. And you get that same feeling with PC building, and I would imagine that with customizing your cars. I'm not into customizing cars, I drive a Honda. That would be the same feeling of satisfaction by making everything truly your own and to your own specifications and fitting your needs. What else I want to say? Oh yeah, well, customizing your cars, you can put 100 grand into your cars, but you still have American speed limits. So why do you want to spend so much money on a rifle where all you're ever going to do with it probably is just make loud noises and punch holes in paper? Well, I really respect the engineering that went into making a weapon of this design. This is millennia of engineering, from the early Chinese using gunpowder to shoot fireworks, to us being able to make modern cartridges and using a rifle to hit a target at 2,500 meters. Not with this rifle, of course, that would be like a 50 BMG or a 408 SHATAC. But, the engineering behind everything and assembling everything and seeing how it comes together is truly satisfying, and really that's my primary drive for building guns and learning more about the AR-15. So, anyways, I hope you guys like this really quick synopsis and overview of my interest in firearms. I hope I made a little bit more sense towards the end. I think I may have lost a little bit of, cogency, cognizance. I might have lost a little bit of cognizance towards the end. Is cognizance a word? I don't know, but I'm being really weird at the moment. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this quick synopsis and quick overview. Just me, talking to the camera really candidly about my interest in the AR-15 platform. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys this charging handle. It's really cool. It's like a biohazard charging handle for zombie defense, and look at this mag release cover. Zombie Outbreak Response Team. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. David out.